Timur, congrats on a nice game today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pretty good one.
You're now back to an even score. How are you feeling about the tournament as a whole?
Well, generally just fine, but I mean, I was just fighting in most of my games. Like, I don't know, I've spent like a few days probably there on the, in the playing area. So yeah, I mean, I played 7 hours games with the Firouzja and many others. So yeah, that was very hard. And today I just want to play at some point some King's Indian to try to spice it up. But then I decided, I mean, okay, I'm not in the, I don't have enough energy to really look at the lines and everything, and still he will go some G3 line, and then, you're not getting the real King's Indian. So yeah, and then went for my lines, but I was surprised. I don't know. I'm bringing Ding traumas like this already the second time. I mean, first time was the World Cup, where he was close for, I think it was his second final in a row.
Yep.
And in first he lost the final, and then he lost to me while going like +1 after 2 games. Yes, I think he won the second game and then lost the third in a very, close to equal position.
And this moment here, this was what we were talking about here in the studio. Knight A6, your preparation caught him off guard.
Yeah, I think somehow he was prepared to start this pawn race thing with f3, g4, queen going to f2 and h4 and so on, where black goes c5, c4 and lines like this, because he had to push today for a win, I guess. And somehow he found himself in this strange situation, because like the position that he had, in that position you have to play positionally to try to get an advantage. So you have to play for the a6, a7 pawns. You don't push before, I think, too early. I think we looked more at knight e2, knight coming to d4, then castling short, like putting the bishop on d2 and then trying to go around. Still black is fine dynamically, but I mean, they have to be precise. But I was very surprised already when he went for this b4 stuff. So I saw that probably he decided just to equalize and make a draw. And so I think he was playing between this type of position, was not giving him a possibility to push like directly. And on the other hand, he was trying to push. So I think that at this point he got somehow confused, because playing this b4 and then going b5 and not playing a4 and just having I think that kind of equal position. I mean, can do the same like in the game, but then he can castle, put the knight on d4 calmly. So he left his king in the center. Rook d1 was a very nervous move. I don't know, maybe the pressure was too high. He also played a very hard game yesterday.
At which point did you realize that you were winning? Is it when he played f3 and you discovered the rook takes e3 idea?
Well, winning, yes, of course. I mean, after he just missed rook takes e3. Before I was not sure. I saw that maybe he will have some kind of knight d1, pushing, bringing the bishop to d4, even giving up the a3 pawn and like putting the knight on c3, and then some kind of, something like this for the a3 pawn. Still probably, I mean, for the engine probably it's still good, but I mean, practically I think this is kind of play he should be sticking for. But maybe already here he has to give it up. Like actually the engine is showing that, like bishop a1 and castle, playing like this. I don't think really in a practical game white is having too much risk, because at some point, knight d4, knight f5 is coming. Practically is very okay, I think, for white. Well, at least, I mean, that's why I'm saying, because he wanted to keep the pawn as well, he wanted to press, and then the position was not allowing this. I think after I played queen c8, he was very surprised. I think he wanted to castle and already like give up the pawn a3, but queen c8, bishop h3, of course, is a very nasty thing. And after this, I think he was confused about the position. Then he also missed rook takes e3, and probably could still, resist better, I guess, because I mean, what he was doing is just a direct loss. I don't know, but what is the evaluation here? Okay, it's -4. Yeah, so it's a bit too much.
And it kept growing. 2 more of your 2 wins. Both of them were excellent against Hikaru, against Ding. Which one are you more proud of?
I think against Hikaru is more kind of a win where you feel that you did everything to win the game. So because today I think that it was like a very nervous play by Ding. Yeah, certainly I did my best, but in general I think missing this rook takes e3 and playing this kind of chess is not his style. Like f3, king f2, not castling normally, pushing before for really no reason. I mean, he didn't know the position here. At least had to take some time. We were already at move like I don't know 12 or something. I mean, it's a normal situation, not move 5 or 3. And that game I'm more proud of course, but because I mean it was like he did some inaccuracy in the opening. He gave up the pawn, but I think technically I found some decisions in the set note as well, and I think pressed hard. But in general, I did also a few inaccuracies there that I was upset about. And even during the game, I saw that he was having some knight f4 tricks, like rook g1, g2 was too much. and so on. But still, I mean, it's about the technical, stuff that you are analyzing after seeing with the engine. It's another story. Over the board, it seemed to me very natural to play Rook G1, G2, stabilize against Hikaru. But like in terms of like winning the game, okay, today I did like 2-3 good moves, but against Hikaru, I think in general I played a good game.
And you said that today's game wasn't really Ding Liren's style, and a player in this competition who is young, so we don't know exactly maybe what his style is, but Alireza Firouzja, what have you made of his play? Because it seems like he's going for a win, no matter the color, no matter the round, including against you in the very first game.
Yeah, but I think Alireza in general, he will change a lot soon with this kind of tournaments that he will play. He will become more kind of stable player. He will have to go for slight advantages. He will have to skip this tactical style. It's not anymore this type of chess that makes you, on top in general. You should go more Magnus way, to try to beat the players, because many players are just playing dry stuff. And if you go like this, for example, like Ding did today and stuff like that, yeah, you can win like 1 or 2 games. Sometimes you're in a must-win situation, probably like he was today. But this doesn't bring too much result on the high level. So as we see also against Jan, because some people just play, without any reason for a win. And in that situations, of course, he's punishing them and gets a lot of points for this. But yeah, Alireza I think will change, but he's very young, so yeah.
Timur, you're probably the most experienced player in this entire field. You defeated famously Garry Kasparov with the black pieces, I believe, in 2003. When you compare your experience playing people like Kasparov in the early 2000s with your experience playing Firouzja and the younger players here at the Candidates, do you feel like the styles of the players have changed? And do you feel like the experience of playing and preparing for an important tournament has changed?
Well, I think honestly everything is changing, because now, let's say in the times when I played Garry and all this like top players like Kramnik, Anand and everyone, from time to time, like there were like 2-3 tables playing in the super tournament that were in the Zeitnot all the time. Nowadays, if you're in Zeitnot, everybody says, he's not in shape. So something is wrong with him, we have to beat him and stuff like that.
And that's time pressure, by the way.
Yeah, like time pressure. I mean, okay, maybe in one game, in a few games, of course, in the Candidates, but in general, people are playing faster, much faster than I used to. So having the Zeitnot was fine. I think it moved like 10 or 12 in Bilbao tournament. It was Ivanchuk. We were having like few minutes. It was Sicilian, nothing special to be honest. But I don't know how we got this. I mean, he played some line with e4 c5, knight f3 e6, like d4 c takes, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, a3 or something like this. And I was confused because I was not playing any Scheveningen systems and stuff like that. So we went there. He was also confused because a3 was without any b5 is kind of strange. So yeah, we were thinking, and then it was like 3 minutes for, I don't know, 28 moves or something like this. And that was kind of strange. But I'm telling you, at the time, it was normal to be in Zeitnot. Nowadays, usually if you're in Zeitnot, especially in a few games, already people consider that you're out of shape. So that changed a lot. So opening preparation, of course, changed a lot. So, I mean, before you could find novelties, now you have the correspondence bases and all that stuff. Like all the people are analyzing like the best moves on the engines. Engines are improving every day. Well, it's hard to compare the generations, because I mean, I think that, let's be fair, I mean, Kasparov, Kramnik and Anand, if you put them in like 20 years old, or I don't know, 25 years old in nowadays situation, they would also be on the very top for sure. I think that they're like geniuses, like all these 3 players, let's say Kramnik, Anand and Garry, of course. So yeah, as well as with all the other champions. So it's hard to compare. Yeah, probably we're playing better than Capablanca, but yeah. But in terms of Capablanca starting like we did, I think he would also be on the very top.
Yeah, I think it's a fair assessment. And a question for you about relative inactivity. Of course, the pandemic happened, but a lot was said about you hadn't won a game of classical chess in 3 years. Playing in the Candidates, winning a couple games here. What are your ambitions like?
Yeah, but I don't know, they're counting like 3 years, but it was like 2019 I played in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Actually, I won against Ding.
Right.
Yeah. So then I finished the tournament. I was in a very bad like physical condition and so on. After 1 month playing the World Cup, I went to the FIDE Grand Prix in Hamburg. I played like 2 games, which ended like in 15 moves in a draw against Dubov. And then I played just 1 or 2 tournaments. So it's a bit not the same like if you are so active like, I don't know, Karvan and all the other players, and then you're not winning a single game. Yeah, right. You will be already 2,500 probably. So in my case, yeah. And I mean, in terms of this, it's like a bit strange comparison in terms of 3 years. But yes, officially it is like two something or something like this. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty well, of course, especially beating Ding. Let's be fair, in a good shape in this tournament, and I mean, the way it happened today certainly was his fault in general, but also I had to show some class to punish this kind of play. It's also a thing, and of course I'm feeling good about winning 2 games against the players. Probably I'm getting more. I mean, I'm more motivated to play against the players that are leading. I guess I don't know why, because many players, brought traumas in my situations when I was, going on good places, like catching some good results and so on, and then they were beating me without any, sentiment or something. Yeah. So it's a professional chess. Yeah, you have to score when you have chance.
Final question for me. We asked Jan what his plans were for the rest day. He expressed the desire to spend a lot of the day in bed. Do you find it more relaxing to stay in your room most of the time, or do you like to explore the city and be active during the rest?
Yeah, pretty same. Because I mean, first of all, there's not too much energy to do anything except being in the bed or watching some YouTube and watching the streams and so on. And some walking is good, I guess. But you have to walk anyway. I'm walking from here to the hotel. Let's say it's a nice walk in general in the central part of Madrid. And I think that's more or less the same. But I can't say it's much a different style than when we're at home, like the training session, for example. Training session is also kind of tournament, I would say. It's easier, it's less stressful, of course. Also, there are some, the coaches, the friends, and so on. You're talking to everyone. Here, it's sometimes, of course, hard because you're preparing all the time. Then you have to play for, from time to time for 7 hours or something. And then there is a rest day. Also, it runs super fast. It's like there is no rest day almost. You don't feel it. So it goes so fast on the tournaments. In a normal situation, at home, if you would have just one empty day or something that you have to spend, you don't know what you're doing. You're just asking yourself what I will watch or something like that. You're making plans. Here it's like, I don't know, you ate the breakfast and then it's like 10 o'clock in the evening. You have to go to bed and also prepare for the next game. I know how it happens, but on tournaments it's like this. Time runs much faster.
Well, you said you might watch streams, but you have some questions from the chat, if you don't mind answering them. So
I'll watch Hikaru's stream maybe. Or recap.
You already watched his recap? Well, we have a question here. Do you like Report's jacket? Do you like his sense of style?
Yeah. I like it in general. I think that he gave some interviews about the jacket.
Yeah. Oh, so you're watching everything?
Yeah, I'm watching it from time. I mean, it's always. I mean, it's, on Instagram, it's somewhere else all the time. Hikaru, I think he has 3 different recaps for each day. I think he makes them before the match. It seems like for the different result, the way he plays. But I mean, it's like amazing what he's doing to play the candidates and make the streams. Or I think he was on the stream as well.
Yeah, the Title Tuesday.
Yeah,
he played.
Not only the Title Tuesday. I think he went for some stream explaining his game. Also was a recap, I guess, or something with the ladies. It was some kind of recap as in first round or something like this. And I don't know how he's doing this. It's just amazing because I don't have free 20 minutes to do something.
Well, this next question is just about that. When are you going to come back to streaming on YouTube?
Well, I don't know. I first have to finish this tournament because I'm telling you, I mean, here to stay. I mean, a few things: to score some points and to stay alive are 2 main goals.
Yeah.
So afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Roshan729, for that question. So the answer is TBD on that one, and I think we have one more question coming in from the chat.
You put on your sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, I did actually once. I think in the World Championship at the time. It was in Libya.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was playing Dominguez, and I lost the first game, and I had some inflammation in my ear.
Yeah.
So that was not the for showing the class. It was just an inflammation in my ear. So I was having the tears and all that stuff. So I had to put the sunglasses. I think it was probably rare case for the professional chess. It was quarterfinal of the World Championship at the time. Yeah. So I was playing in the glasses, and then the arbiter told me that is everything all right? Why are you watching? I mean, why are you wearing the glasses? And I mean, I was not really in the mood to explain, so I just took them off, and he saw my eyes like full of tears and so on. And he saw that I'm, unhappy because I will be leaving Libya soon. But actually, I won that match, and so and then went to the semifinals, and that's the only time I think when I played in the sunglasses.
Well, they wanted you to put it on. I don't know. Show us.
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
You don't have to do it.
It's not on demand show.
Yeah, I ignore chat all the time, and I will ask you one last question before we let you go. Magnus Carlsen, of course, says that he might not play a World Championship match. Now that you have 6 out of 12, you're just half a point behind second place. Are you thinking about that a lot? Like with the next 2 rounds coming, are you going to be ambitious? And
Yeah, I mean, I will try my best, of course, in any case. I mean, not depending on Magnus playing the match or not. And I'm sure that he will play the match. I don't know why everybody is so stressing out about this. I think it's not the first time that he's saying this. All the world champions, I guess, and the people who reach the peak in their career, they are probably from time to time thinking that maybe I can do something else in life or go to politics. I don't know. In Magnus' case, I don't think that he will go there. Maybe he will try to beat Hikaru in streams or something.
He's playing the World Series of Poker.
Poker, I think maybe he will be in, I don't know, in soccer team, something like this. But already it's, I mean, in this age, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So he's also, I mean, I'm used to that he's a youngster and so on because I've played the first match, I think I've mentioned today, I think he was 12 or something. I was playing against him in Corsica in rapid match. And somehow all the time, even though he became the world champion and so on, I have this perception that he's a youngster somehow. Mm-hmm. But now I saw that, okay, I mean, if he's going to play football, it's just a few years left for the normal career. Yeah. So I'm not sure that he will not be playing the world championship because it should be motivating and I don't know, for him, once again, to show that he's the best in the world. Otherwise, why to play the normal tournaments, the commercial tournaments?
And we've asked both Ding Liren and Hikaru if there is a tie for second. We don't know whether that is important, but do you think that the tiebreak should be played out over the board rather than by any sort of tiebreak system?
Well, the tiebreaks are good in general. I think it's the right way. And also for the World Championship format, I think also Carlsen was proposing this. I think the World Cup format is a good thing, like all this, knockout matches and so on. It's a very good thing, I think, in my opinion.
So you would prefer knockout matches for the candidates rather than a double round robin?
You said knockout or naka?
Both can be true.
Yeah. So the knockouts, I think, are a good thing. Also for the people like watching, it's fun all the time because I mean until the very end, I mean it goes like in the candidates, for example, if you started badly and then you have to play for 14 rounds and you are like -4 and there's no chance to win the tournament or something like this, it's like useless tournament. Everybody's trying to beat you and so on. So it's a bit tricky thing, I think. But for the World Championship, I think can be used, the knockout system. In general, it's also a lot of fun and it's normal, I think. I think it's a good thing to try at least. They used it for some time, but world champions were not participating. That was the problem.
Yeah.
The only problem. So I think at some point it was Topalov playing and like all the Kramnik, Kasparov, and all these guys, they were not playing the tournaments. That was the problem. If they would be there, of course. But world champion in this case, of course, should be consulted because I mean he's the title holder. So
yeah. Well, you heard it from Timur Radjabov, all of his thoughts about his game, about second place, his ambition. So thank you, Timur, so much for joining us in the studio.
Thank you very much.